Weakness is a slow poison. It creeps in and ruins your life, slowly and surely over time. But the worst part about weakness is that you don't notice it creeping in until it's too late. It starts with habits. Maybe you don't do your nightly routine one day. Maybe one day this week you miss your morning routine. It's these small things that chink away at your armor over time until the person that you are, the person that you want to be, is no longer there. You look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself because weakness has creeped in over time and broke you down. It weeds its way in as relaxing, taking breaks. You need to rest. You've been going hard. That's how weakness gets you. That's how it breaks down your systems. Well, maybe I should take a little easy today. Well, I have been going hard. Well, maybe this meal won't hurt. Right? That's how weakness gets you. That's how it creeps in. That's how it breaks you down. You don't recognize it. Slowly, you've built up this person that works hard, that has all these routines, that has structure in place. And weakness will come in these small little ways that you don't notice. I know, I've been there. That's how it creeps up on me. It creeps up on me in the morning routine. It creeps up on me with the little snack here, with the little snack here, the little cheat meal, right? That's how it gets us. That's how it breaks you down. That's how you'll lose. That is how you'll lose. Well, I don't need to go to the gym today, right? I went 3 days this week and I hit what I need to hit. I'm not really sore, but just to be safe, right? That's how it gets you. That's how it gets you. That's how weakness will creep in and tear everything you've worked for. And you don't notice it immediately because these are small things. You don't notice it today. You don't notice it tomorrow. You don't notice it this week, next week. You may not even notice it this month or next month or for 2 months from now. But eventually, as some reflexes kick my ass, eventually you will notice it. And you wake up one day and you won't go to the gym and your breakfast will be at 12 because you woke up at 11 and it'll be Cinnamon Toast Crunch and you start your morning off with some TV and a shower where you just wash your face and your balls and face routine, fuck it, you don't do your hair, you sit down and you try to be productive from there. And one day you look in the mirror and you're like, how the fuck did I get here? How did I go from where I'm not doing anything? I'm supposed to be disciplined. And you're none of that because weakness has creeped up on you and you didn't even notice. It slowly drug you down because you weren't consistent with your discipline. Because you weren't consistent with your discipline. And that allowed weakness to creep up on you. It allowed itself to rip away at your foundation until there was nothing left. Until it was, well, I don't need to set an alarm today, right? Well, I'll just wake up. Well, maybe I need that extra rest today. I've been going pretty hard. You're supposed to go hard. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be strict in your eating. You're supposed to be meticulous in getting work done. That's what you're supposed to do. In weakness, it'll always be there, nagging in the back of your head, right? When, you go hard for a few days, for a few weeks, for a few months, that's when the voice of weakness grows really loud. maybe I'll just take it easy for today to recover. That's what it tells you. That's what it tells you. And I need a little break. I need to chill out a little bit. That's what it tells you. It won't tell you that in the beginning. It won't tell you that a few days in. It won't tell you that a week in, 2 weeks in. It'll tell you that, at the end of a hard week. Right? Weakness shows up when hard things show up. Right? Weakness shows up when hard things consistently present themselves. And that allows weakness an opportunity to slither in between your discipline. It allows consistency to falter. And that's how it'll get you. Every single time. Again, it won't happen on day one. No, day one is easy. Day one of discipline. Day one of doing what you're supposed to do. Of doing the hard things. Of structuring your life is always easy. Yeah, because you have motivation. You have motivation. Weakness will fuck up your motivation. Weakness will tear that shit down. And you won't even know it. And you won't even know it. Motivation's not going to hang around forever. It won't. It won't. You got a day, a few days, a week of motivation before you have your discipline. And weakness will creep in because discipline is only great if it's consistent. And weakness interrupts the consistency needed for regular discipline. And that's when you lose. And that's when you lose. And that's when you stop setting the alarm. And that's when you take cheat meals every single day. Well, I don't need to be as strict on my meals because, I don't need to be in the gym because, I don't really need to go as hard on my work because it's every day. It's every day. Weakness doesn't allow you to see that. Weakness doesn't want you to see that. And the worst part about it is how slowly it moves. How unrecognizable it is. Because unless you make a point to be consistent in the discipline, right? It's not the motivation. Motivation is great. Motivation is good. The moment you get motivation, set a strict structure of discipline that you will be consistent with, that you will routinely follow no matter how you feel, right? Set those guidelines for yourself, that respect for yourself when you have the motivation, because the motivation will fall quickly. It will fall quickly. And then all you're left with is the discipline. Not the discipline of the guidelines yourself, but also the discipline to stay consistent. And weakness will take that from you, right? Weakness first takes motivation. It takes motivation. It comes in stages. So the first stage is probably motivation. It's the first thing to fall. It falls in stage one. Motivation for most people doesn't last a week. Doesn't last a week. Weakness strips that from you. Man, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is hard. But the discipline will keep you going, right? Maybe a few days longer. Maybe a few weeks later. And then weakness realizes it can't get to you. And so it's going to take these small things from you. It's going to weave its way into you, but it's going to do it through that back door, right? Weakness doesn't want to be seen coming. It doesn't want you to know it's there. It doesn't want you to know it's taking from you. You didn't even realize that the motivation was gone. Now you have your discipline, but weakness has you going through the motions, right? Weakness just kind of has you going through day by day because you said you would do it. not because you no longer believe in it, right? And that is where it's easy to lose the consistency. I wrote things down in my journal. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And weakness comes in over the course of time and turns it into things you're just doing. So the first thing it does, it breaks down the discipline, the systems in your mind as something that you need to be doing to get you to the next level. And then it turns it into something that you're just doing. Because I have it written down, I wrote it on my board, I said I was going to do it. Now it's time for the chinks in the armor to start to show, right? Now it's time for weakness to really do its damage. Because phase 2 is when you just start doing things, when you just start going through the motion. That's phase 2 of weakness working on you. That's phase 2 of weakness working on you. Slowly getting up in there. You're going through the motions. Yeah, I wrote it down and I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Now you're going through the motions. Now it's time for phase 3. And then this is where you become unrecognizable. Still, slowly, over the course of weeks, over the course of months. See, weakness works like this. Now that you're in phase 2, right? The motivation's gone. Things are hard. Now you're just doing things because you wrote them down, because you said you would. Maybe there's a slow burn of the fire that is motivation left in you. And you're just kind of doing shit, right? And that's when phase 3 really wants to nag on you, because that's when those chinks form, right? That's when, like I said, well, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, right? Going through the motions. I've been disciplined. I've been strict in the gym. Going through the motions. Round and round and round, but you don't feel it, right? You don't feel it. It's simply just things you wrote down. You don't feel it because weakness took that from you and you didn't even notice. And it puts you in phase 3 of weakness corrosion. And you didn't even know it. You didn't even know what weakness is doing to you. It was a surprise. And now that you're just going through the motions, right? Well, I don't need to work as hard today. Well, I don't have much to do today, so I'll kick back. Well, I know I'm doing, I know I'm doing really strict eating, but I know I'm really not supposed to be doing, a lot of cheese on my meal, but, well, I really like this cheese dog, and I can slip today because it's fine, and I can get right back on the saddle. Those are the thoughts that go through your head, right? Now things are hard. Now you're kind of just going through the motions. And this is where you falter. First I'll add this sauce on my meal that I know I'm probably not supposed to be having. Right? This isn't the low sugar barbecue sauce I know I'm supposed to be using. Right? This is a little bit more cheese than I'm supposed to be having. Maybe I didn't weigh this meal out like I know I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not setting the alarm today because I know I kind of wake up naturally early, and I'll probably get it done. And they start hitting you one by one by one by one by one by one by one. And eventually, you're no longer disciplined at all. Eventually, you have things written down, and they no longer resonate with you. You look at them, yeah, and you keep it moving. Right? You're not doing those things at all. You don't even like looking at the things you said you were going to do. You don't even like, you see them, let's say you wrote them on the whiteboard, you walk right by that whiteboard. It may as well be a regular painting on the wall that you've seen a million times. It's no longer true to you. And that is full on stage 4. When the consistency's gone, the discipline's gone, the motivation's gone, the things you said you were going to do don't even feel right upstairs. Because weakness has taken that from you. It took it from you stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, right? It started with the motivation. In a few days, it was gone. It started with having you go through the motions because you're changing just to change, right? Just for the sake of it. And so you stopped looking at things as hard and started running through the motions and doing things because you said you were going to do them. Well, they're written down. I'm just doing things because I've written down, not specifically to change. And then 3, then it starts hitting you with the chinks in the armor. It starts breaking you down, slowly but surely, right? Yeah, I can do this because I've been doing everything on my list. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. Chinks in the armor, going through the motions. And then stage 4 creeps up on you. And stage 4, you're no longer in it at all. Weakness has won in 4 slow stages that you didn't even recognize, that you didn't even notice. And then you look up, my room's not clean. My room's not clean. I'm a little softer than normal. Body's maybe not how you want it to be anymore. No habits at all, right? And it's like, how the hell did this happen? How did I become this guy? You look in the mirror, you look at your life and what you're living, and you're like, whoa, this isn't what I want to be. And then now that you've fallen down some steps, you're like, oh wow, I don't want to be here. I got to get my life together. I got to put things back in order. And then you start to cycle all over again. Over and over and over, never realizing how slowly weakness creeped in and tore you apart from the seams. And it'll keep doing it unless you make a change, unless you stop weakness in its tracks with discipline and consistency and goals that you truly